Well, hello and welcome to another video with me, P, and my little buddy Oscar, my super awesome pug, who is going to sleep support you while you try and quit smoking. So I'm making these videos because smoking can actually be easy to give up and quit forever. But there was a time I was very much tortured by the idea of quitting smoking, which I'm sure you are feeling if you're checking out videos about quitting smoking and making it easy. So I was introduced to a book, which I'll put the picture here, by Allen Carr, a wonderful man who found a way to teach us smokers how to quit easily. So I definitely recommend you get the book. I'm going to read you a little part of it here in a second. I make no money on the book. I'm just really inspired by it because it actually made quitting easy. I smoked for a long time. I was very dedicated to it. I believed it was a part of who I was and I might never quit. Smoking was agonizing to quit for me, and I tried willpower, I tried the patch, I've tried the gum, I've tried holistic ideas, I've tried a lot of things. None of them worked until I found the book, so definitely worth checking it out. And I thought, why not amp up quitting smoking easily with also helping you learn to manifest things like law of attraction that people are talking about and getting cool stuff. I want you to have that too, because congratulations for quitting smoking, and let's get you a life you really love, okay? That's why we're here. So I'm doing in 22 videos. I'm taking you on a journey through the major arcana, which is known as the Fool's Journey to Enlightenment. And that's how we're going to inspire you to manifest and shift your mindset. Okay? Sound pretty awesome? So let's get down to it. I like to keep these videos as short as possible so they don't get too boring and you just get some actions and you get on with your day and quit freaking smoking. Ooh, just gonna have a quick sip of tea. Whoa, the camera. I do love coffee, but I am trying to break the caffeine addiction a little bit too. Nicotine, caffeine, get the heck out of here, right? Okay, so this is video number 17. I'm going to be talking about tarot card number 16, which is the Tower, and it looks pretty scary. And we've had a few scary cards here in the middle, Death and the Devil, and now the Tower, and it looks like things are blowing up. Often in a reading, this could signify something that's going to blow up in your face and go kind of crazy, but always it represents a positive change. Much like Death and the Devil, first we learned that something had to die and be put away and let go so a new birth could happen. We saw with the Devil that we bind ourselves and we hold ourselves back. We put the obstacles in our own way. And then we can see with the Tower that things have to be blown up and totally let go and got rid of so that you can have what you really want. This is all about destruction for your greater good. You probably know what needs to go in your life. Maybe it's smoking friends who just will not get on board with quitting, and so you can't be triggered by them all the time. It's time to break out of your shell and stop sitting at home and go meet new people. Who knows? Up to you. Do what you will, but you know what you need to bust up. And this card says, yeah, there's a lot of fear here. Yeah, there's a lot of fear coming up at this point in your journey, but you're foraging forward. And if you can do it, if you can embrace it and put it to rest, you are going to manifest that amazing thing. That's what this card is all about. Destruction for the best. Okay, destroy those cigarettes, destroy the nicotine addiction, destroy the other things in your life that just don't need to be there. You've been relying on them. And in other videos, I'm going to get into the 6 human needs and talk about why we do these things we don't really like, okay, and how you're actually getting something out of it. But for now, you just have to trust that it's time to let go of that, okay, and move forward. So let's talk about how. I have been talking about different ways to shift your mindset easily because that's what this is all about. So you definitely want to check out all the videos to get the basis. We've talked about journaling and meditation, and we're moving through these cards in a systematic way so that you actually have the tools as you go. Okay, so definitely check them all out. Hit the notifications, subscribe. Let's get really into this and build this community to support each other. Okie dokie, I would love that. So today's action that I want you to take for your mindset shift is all about the superhero pose. It's scientifically proven to uplift you, the superhero pose. So you literally stand like you would imagine a superhero standing with your hands on your hips and your chest is up and your chin's to the sky. You know, you're not looking down or all slouched over. You really open up and you look up to the sky with your hands on your hips. And if you stand there silent in that strong pose for 2 minutes, it will raise your vibration. So we're going to play with that a little. But 2 ways of doing this, and you are going to fit them in your life. However, try both. But definitely whatever fits in your life best. You got to get a little creative if this is important, right? So the superhero pose, way 1 to do it is you're going to go into a room, whichever room of your house is going to work best for you to get a new perspective and where you won't be interrupted at the time that you're doing this. Hopefully first thing in the morning before you start your day kind of thing. You're going to go to a corner of your room. You don't normally stand in a corner looking out. So go to a new area of the room where you're going to get a new perspective. Maybe scooch in beside your bookcase that's over in a corner, somewhere you never stand, and look out into the room in that pose. We want you to be there for about 2 minutes, and that can seem like a long time at first, right? So set a timer so you don't give up too soon. And you're going to stand there, you're looking out at the room, and you're going to make some powerful statements about how your day is going to go. So think about it a little bit before you do it. And positive, powerful, uplifting statements. Remember when we've talked about sort of the affirmation statement before. You don't want to say something that's too far of a reach, too amazing, that you actually feel like you can't have it when you say it. Your energy actually drops. Whatever you say is to empower you. The position you're standing in is to empower you and connect, your physical and your spiritual with the stance and the word you're saying, okay? So the powerful statements can be things about how your day is going to go, things you want to release. So you might say, I am going to have an amazing day. My confidence is at an all-time high. I'm going to enjoy my work today because I'm going to appreciate people around me at work better today. You can state ways you're going to be your best that day. I'm going to eat a great lunch today. I really plan to eat something that's going to nourish me throughout the day so I feel amazing. How wonderful your day will be, how wonderful you are, how wonderful your situation is. These are positive statements. Now, I don't want to give you a whole bunch of statements because you need to create your own. That is where the power lies. But I like to give you examples to get the ball rolling and get helping. This is new for you, so that's cool. You can start by repeating something I've given and then building on it. Once you get it going, you'll be able to do it more easily. And the more times you do this, the more things are going to come to you because it feels so darn good. And really on this journey, I have to tell you, the main thing is that you feel good. The more joy you experience in life, that is your natural state. That's how you manifest, and that's how you give up stupid things like smoking. And I'm not calling it stupid to insult you. Again, addicted for years over here. I totally get it. What's stupid is that we get stuck in these traps and we don't get out because we don't know how. So it's not us. It's just what it is. Okay? The second way you can do the superhero pose, which is really great if you can do both and add this in, is throughout the day, small moments. You can set an alarm to do this every hour, okay? You can set markers like when you get in or out of your car, break time at work, every time you fill up your coffee cup, every time someone passes your desk, whatever little markers are going to work for you. Like I said, an alarm on your phone repeatedly once an hour. However much you need to do it to keep that vibration high is how often you're going to do it. You're going to stop what you're doing, stand in superhero pose, and say one affirmative statement, okay? So the convenience of that, I know it can be embarrassing at work to stand up at your desk and strike a superhero pose. Or say you're a cashier, right? And so your 8-hour shift is mostly behind a till. Stopping and being a superhero while you have a lineup of people is going to create some issues. So you're going to have to get creative where you throw this in. But even as that cashier, if you have a couple minutes where you're dusting the aisle around your till, you could sneak in a quick superhero pose. Not going to be a full 2 minute, might only be 10 seconds while no one's looking, but you're going to do it and say a cool statement and you're going to feel amazing, okay? If you really have to throughout the day where you're hiding it, in that situation, you could imagine it in your head in those moments and smile to yourself. And then on break time or when you go to the bathroom, actually do it. Okay, so there's lots of ways to activate this in your life and keep your vibe up, because that's where manifestation happens. I'm running on a bit long, and I really, really want to read you a little bit from Allen Carr's book. There's this little section about it being a habit, because people often say, oh, it's a habit, I just can't break it. We know they're using willpower, and that's a problem to begin with. So I want to read you this little part about habit. See how fast I can get that done. I'm just going to look up at my computer here. Here we go. Society continues to refer frequently to smoking as a habit. However, smoking is not a habit. Smoking is an addiction. It is a drug addiction, an addiction to nicotine. You have to understand that. This isn't a choice you make. This isn't a habit you have. This isn't anything. It is a nicotine addiction that you're going to break. Period. When we start to smoke, we force our body to learn to cope with the poisons along with the disgusting smell and taste. I used to think that I loved the smell and taste. And I had this kind of gross awesomeness. So just hear that. When you start to smoke, you force your body and your mind to ignore that and to get through it, because you are immediately addicted to the nicotine. Before we know it, we are not only buying them regularly, but we have to have them. If we don't, we get anxious, panic sets in, and over time, we tend to need to smoke more and more. You'll notice when you started smoking, you smoked a few cigarettes a day, ones you could sneak or hide or whatever. Steal from your parents. And as you got going and smoking, now you're half a pack a day. Now you're a full pack a day. I've even been a pack and a half a day. And it happens very easily because you're addicted to nicotine. It isn't by choice that you keep smoking more and more and more of them. You keep smoking more and more and more of them because you want the nicotine. Nicotine goes in and out of our body so quickly that you keep smoking more and more and more. Okay? This is because, as with any other drug, the body creates some immunity to the effects of the nicotine. We therefore need to smoke more to obtain the same effect. And you can remember this back when you had your first cigarette, or if for some reason, maybe surgery, sleep, traveling for a long time on a plane or somewhere you can't smoke. When you have that cigarette after all that time and your tolerance has dropped a little bit, you get that dizzy, lightheaded feeling. Or when you first started smoking, they all gave you that kind of dizzy, lightheaded feeling. Well, as you go and build up a tolerance, it takes more cigarettes to keep giving you that nicotine relief, right? After quite a short period, the cigarette fails to completely relieve the withdrawal pains the previous one has created, so that when you light a cigarette, you do feel better, but are still slightly more stressed and slightly less relaxed than a non-smoker would have been. Even when you're smoking, ugh, that sucks. And I saw that. Now that I can look back and see cigarettes as the addiction and the addiction that I was facing, I can definitely see that amping up. My anxiety increased. I was never an anxious person. Suddenly I was an anxious person. Not that I haven't had a mental health issue. I have. I've struggled with depression. I've had a number of things happening. But really, anxiety wasn't one of them. Cigarettes really brought that on for me. The situation worsens because once the cigarette is extinguished, the nicotine rapidly leaves the body, creating more withdrawal symptoms. This is why in stressful situations, smokers tend to chain smoke. It's not because of smoking, it's relieving the stress. Okay? That's what I really want to get through to you here. I'm going to leave it there. This video is getting super long, but I love you guys, and I love you for giving her and sticking with it and watching these videos, and I want to support you. Please comment below. And let's get you quit smoking easily, forever, and manifesting what you want. Bye.